Imagine for a moment a quiet evening. You've just shared something significant online, a personal thought, a piece of your art, an accomplishment. And then you wait. You refresh the screen, perhaps a little too often, watching for the likes, the comments, the affirmation that tells you, yes, this was good, you are seen, you are approved. Or maybe it's not online. Perhaps you've just made a presentation at work, poured your heart into a project, and now you find yourself angling for that validating nod from your boss, that enthusiastic comment from a colleague. You find yourself crafting your words, even your actions, not purely from genuine belief, but from a subtle, often unconscious desire to elicit a particular response. This craving for external validation is a familiar human experience. It feels so natural, so innocuous, yet it holds a profound power over our freedom. Because when our sense of worth becomes tethered to the shifting sands of public opinion or the fluctuating moods of others, we unwittingly hand over the reins of our own peace, our own integrity, and ultimately our own freedom. Think about what happens when we operate from this space. Our actions become less about what we truly believe is right or good, and more about what we perceive will be approved by others. We might soften our true opinions, shy away from difficult but necessary conversations, or even pursue paths that don't align with our deepest values, all to garner applause. This permeates our decisions, from career choices to personal relationships. The cost is immense. We lose authenticity. We become performers, constantly adjusting our mask. And in this performance, we experience anxiety. What if the applause stops? What if we are ignored? This fear dictates our choices, eroding our courage and conviction. The act of needing validation places us in a perpetual state of dependence, making us vulnerable to the whims and judgments of a world we cannot control. It weakens our inner resolve, leaving us adrift, chasing a fleeting echo of approval, rather than grounding ourselves in the sturdy reality of our own character. This is precisely where the ancient philosophy of Stoicism offers a powerful, liberating counter-narrative. The Stoics understood this human tendency deeply. They observed that much of our suffering stems from placing our peace and happiness in things outside of our control, and the opinions of others are perhaps the quintessential example. For a Stoic, true freedom, true flourishing, isn't found in the applause of the crowd, but in the unwavering commitment to acting from virtue, from principle, from our own well-reasoned judgment. They believed our primary focus should be on our prohairesis, our faculty of choice, our moral purpose. This is the only thing truly within our power. And when we align our choices, intentions, and actions with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, the four cardinal Stoic virtues, our worth is established internally. It's not something that can be given or taken away by external forces. Consider Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. He sought approval not from the legions, but from his own inner judge. When we act from principle, when we do what we believe is right, regardless of how it's received, we become truly sovereign. We find our approval in our own conscience, not the crowd. This isn't about arrogance or indifference to others. It's about understanding where genuine self-worth resides. Your value isn't contingent on someone else's assessment. It simply is, derived from striving for good character and integrity. So, how do we begin to cultivate this Stoic freedom from validation? It starts with a simple yet profound shift in focus. Begin by observing your own reactions. When you share something, complete a task, or interact with others, notice if you feel that pull, that subtle desire for a certain response. Just notice it without judgment. Then gently redirect your attention. Ask yourself, was this action consistent with my values? Did I do my best? Was my intention pure? If the answer is yes, then let that be enough. The outcome, the reaction of others, is an external. It belongs to the sphere of things not entirely in your control. The effort, the intention, the integrity, these are yours, and these are where your true worth resides. It's a practice, not a destination. There will be days when old habits resurface, when the desire for approval feels overwhelming. But each time you consciously choose to act from your principles, to find approval in your own conscience, you strengthen that inner muscle. You reclaim a piece of your freedom. You become less like a leaf tossed by the wind, and more like a deeply rooted tree, unyielding in your own soil. In essence, Stoicism teaches us that the pursuit of external validation is a chase that can never truly satisfy, because it delegates our power, our self-worth, to forces outside of ourselves. True freedom isn't the absence of criticism or the presence of praise. It's the profound realization that our worth is intrinsic, derived from our character and our choices, not from the shifting sands of public opinion. It's about living a life aligned with your deepest principles, finding your own conscience to be your most honest and important audience. This journey toward inner validation isn't easy, but it is deeply rewarding. It frees you to live authentically, to speak your truth, and to act with courage, knowing your approval comes from within. It allows you to truly own your worth. I invite you to reflect on this idea. Where in your life might you be unconsciously seeking validation? What would it feel like to release that need, even just a little? Share your thoughts in the comments below, or simply take a moment for quiet reflection. Thank you for spending this time with me, exploring these timeless ideas. May you find your freedom in owning your worth.